Good evening, everyone. This is Chidebere from Aspires Consulting Services. I'm just making this video to make some clarification for those who are still asking some questions. I have someone who asked a question regarding the English requirement, English language requirement for application for skilled worker visa. So as you can see, I'm on the government page for skilled worker visa, and if you go down to where it talks about the knowledge of English, I'll read this and explain in a nutshell. So you will usually need to prove your language, your knowledge of the English language when you apply. You can prove it in one of the following ways: having a UK school qualifications, meaning you studied here, you have a school qualification in UK, you have a degree from UK university institution like bachelor's degree, having a degree from an institution that was outside the UK and taught in English. So you may have to prove that. So for those who studied here, you just need to provide your certificate and your transcript. For those outside, you may need to prove that your course was taught in English. So you have so many ways you can do that. I'm going to be sharing one of the ways you can send your certificate, your transcript to this body called ENIC. So they will have to compare your study and how it fits the same level in the UK. And after that, a document will be issued which states that this course you studied is equivalent to this level in the UK. Likewise for college, let's say you didn't do your A levels or GCSE in the UK, you did like Nigeria, you did NECO, WAEC, GCE. So you can send your statement of result, which has all your grades for maths and English, and then they will have to compare and issue that same standard. So that's what that is all about. So going back to this, so it says also passing an exam, the English test from an approved provider. We have IELTS, we have IDP, so many approved providers for this test. So meaning you can write your UK IELTS for UKVI. You also that's IELTS general for UKVI, and it has to be from an approved provider like the British Council. Um, you also have so you if you have a UK qualification, you can prove your knowledge of English if you have a qualification from UK school that you began when you were under 18. So talking about GCSE, A level, and Scottish National Qualification level 4 or 5, and also higher or advanced higher in English. So these are ways you can do that. If you have degree from a UK school, you also have to prove that you have a degree level qualification that was both taught in English and been awarded by a UK institution. So everything. So if you go down to this part, if you have a degree from an institution outside the UK, you need to go through the assessment from ECCTI. So that's what I mentioned earlier. This is the official site, but if you go and read through, you choose which of them are you going for: qualification and language service, or are you going for the assessment? So I normally advise people should go with this Department for Education through this body, NIC service, who assess your qualification and be able to match it to the level required for this application. So starting from January this year, it used to be B1 level. B1 means you have to score 4.0 in all the skills in IELTS for UKVI, which is listening, speaking, reading, writing. But right now, from January 8th, so if you look at this article from the Home Office site, it was published January 8th, 2026. So it has to be B2, meaning you have to achieve B2 level for all the skills. Now, I'm going to give you a typical example of what it looks like. So this is an example of a result that came through from a candidate. So you can see 5.5 for all the skills. If you have taken this exam using the computer, it means you are entitled to repeat a skill if you fail one skill. So that's called one skill retake. So for this person, um, he scored 5.5 for listening, but for reading 5.0, meaning he achieved only B1 level, he didn't achieve B2. So but remember, previously it was B1, meaning 4.0 for all. But now, if you've not gotten that by now, Let's say you didn't study in the UK and you have to prove this, you have to write this test, or you can prove you have a degree from your country, and then they can assess it. So either way, if you decide to write this, that's fine. If you have a degree and not something below the degree, let's say you have the job you are looking for, you have to attain a certain level of education before you can. Now, I need to explain this. There are certain jobs that if you look at the English requirement, it says GCSE, meaning if you've done something like college degree in your home country, you can use the other type, not really this exam. You can just use the ECCITS to assess it. But if you are applying for a job that is up to bachelor's level, that's the B2 level, and you don't have degree from your home country, maybe something lesser in between the college and the higher the degree. So you have to do this exam in order to maintain or to meet up with that requirement. So that's why you're doing this exam. So you can see the other skills the candidate met. C1 is higher than B2, so 7.0 means this candidate attained higher. But for this reading, so if you look below, it says that you only met B1 because of this reading. So you can see how this can actually take down the score. So this person has to apply or to register for one skill retake. So if you're taking this exam on the computer, you're allowed to retake just one skill. So this is coming from the UK page, UK Home Office page. So you can read through it. I will share this link after this video, so you can go there and read through it. And so you can see this is all you are required to do according to the new English requirement. So you have to score this. All right. If you look down, you will see other countries who do not need to prove the knowledge of English. So if your country is not mentioned there, it means you have to do this. So other information required. So if you go down to British Council website, you can also see this in full details. They will explain all this, which is this area where you have to prove that you can speak, write, read, and listen. So 5.5 in all the four components will qualify you for this. So I'm going to be sharing these links on my page. So if you have any question regarding this, I'll also drop an email. You can contact us at aspiresconsultingservices@gmail.com. One word, no space. Aspiresconsultingservices@gmail.com. Once you send us an email regarding that, we can book you for a meeting, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour to explain further in case you don't still understand this. But this is a requirement for anyone who is planning to apply for either of those visas. Now, why this is very important, let's say your visa is due to expire in 3 weeks time and you didn't know about this, and you start application. Once you get to the point where they'll give you your checklist, these are the documents you should upload for us to grant you this visa. They will mention this, and then you start looking for date for this exam and you may not find. So people are currently writing this exam. So if you have a degree to use to prove this, you can go ahead with the alternative that I showed you earlier. But if you don't have, you need to write this exam and keep it handy before you start your application. This is not this is just to avoid delay. So any other question, I'm happy to answer that and book you for a meeting. Share this with your friends. If you're currently or you're about to apply for your skilled worker visa, please ensure you read through the requirements from this page. Make sure you read through. This is skilled worker visa for those who are switching from student visa to skilled worker visa, or you're switching from graduate visa to skilled worker visa. Be sure to know this. If you did not study in the UK, just make sure you read through and understand what you're meant to do. Every information is on this page. And I will also advise, if you need to know what is required for a particular process, any application, please always go to the Home Office website. You always find the required information you need. Yeah, if there's any other thing, I would like to hear your comments on the section and your feedback. Thank you and see you some other time. Bye.